Howdy-ho, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview, and we're going to be talking with Eric. Eric and I have talked on the phone a few times. We even went wheeling one time on the Metal Masher. I think he actually told me to keep coming back, and then I crunched the tail light. Isn't that how it? That's how I remember it, Eric. It wasn't my fault. It was yours.
I remember picking up your tail light and putting it in the back of your truck.
Oh, that's right. And you took it all over the country. And I wanted to know if I could get honor badges for all the places that you guys went, since the Jeep went there.
You should have, yeah.
So Eric is a 13-year veteran of the off-road industry, recently joining TYRI to help steer the off-road division. And I think this is great because, I have a bunch of TYRI lights that Ken, the owner of TYRI Lights North America, sent me, and they are absolutely amazing. And you probably have heard this before. I was very much despite from Amazon, if it's over $100, why? The only thing I made sure is that it had Cree LEDs lights in it, because then I figured it was fine. And then Ken sends me these lights that are like professional and commercial grade. And I remember getting the box. It was a big box because he sent me a bunch of lights, including those big 7-inch lights. I forget the part number. And there's a box sitting outside. It wasn't a huge box. And I went to pick it up, and I almost threw my back out because they were so heavy. And heavy doesn't necessarily mean quality, but it's certainly the case with the TYRI lights. The huge heat sinks. They're just amazing. So I'm a convert as far as, cheap lights versus quality lights.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line. I mean, if you're just trying to throw a bunch of light in one direction, you can do the cheap ones. Mm-hmm. But if you want a light that's designed to do its job, they're work lights. What TYRI makes are literal work lights, and they're made for a very specific reason. We don't spend a lot of time trying to make them look pretty and do RGB stuff and
little yellow glowing things around the outside that people love.
We're not interested in that. We it's white lighted, and we have amber light, and we have some other ones, some like perimeter lighting that we use in other industries. But by and large, it's a work light that we want to be a work light, and we want it to be dependable. That's where we
works. It's a work light that works, and is going to work for a long time. And I've mentioned this before in interviews that I've done for TYRI Lights, or talking to Ken or somebody, that the TYRI lights are used in commercial theaters, and those commercial theaters have to have a working light. You can't have a piece of equipment where the light fails, because then that $100,000 or even $1 million piece of machinery can't operate because the light's out.
Yeah. And that's very big. Like you said, we're in the big in the mining industry. In fact, Ken and I were just at a Mine Expo with the company a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas. But yeah, like you said, if you have a multi-million-dollar machine, which we're OEM tier 1 supplier to a lot of the manufacturers that make those machines, those machines go down because our light went down. TYRI just cost someone money, right? Yeah. So we spend a lot of time making sure, we have vibration isolation, we have, all of our seals and all that, and our giant heat sinks, because we want to make sure they don't overheat. Because a lot of these machines don't move faster than a half mile an hour, if at all.
Right. So, and there's definitely a lot of dust in a mine, and you want to make sure that doesn't egress into the light area.
And we want to make sure that they have 100% uptime on our lights. Other things can break on the machine, and that's fine. That's not our fault.
Exactly. Yeah. Those other people should have the same quality. So this is one of the things. I don't want to try to impress you that I have such great lights, but I'm trying to impress you guys that this is a reason why sometimes the amount of money that you spend is worth it. So what do you want? Do you want your light to fail in the worst opportune time available, or do you want to be able to trust that thing? And you don't have to agree with this or say anything about it, Eric, but I'll just mention this. I went out, I sent you that video that we did of the TYRI lights out at a local park. And the Jeep, the 392, my buddy Bill's 392, he's got a couple of large KC lights on the front of his Jeep. It was nowhere close to the brightness of the two 7-inch TYRI lights that I had on there. So
yeah, those lights that you have are 8,000 effective lumens a piece.
And it's too low. Damn it. I want more lumens. So you may have heard this before. I like it in traffic at night because if I light somebody up, they're dumbasses, and now I'm sterilizing them to just stop the whole train of dumbasses out on the road. Yeah. Yeah, they're absolutely wonderful. And Ken sold me on the amber lenses. Because I have the smaller TYRI lights. No, I can't remember. I should have looked this up. It's not 1010.
So it's a D8 then.
Yeah, probably so. It looks a lot like that one that you have on your shelf.
Okay, that's a 1010 behind me.
Okay, so it's a small one, and Ken sent me extra lenses, amber lenses, and I tried that off-road, and I was shocked at how much detail you could see. And the lights have to be kind of low so that you get that 3D effect. And just driving over small rocks and stuff, I was very easily able to pick a line going through there, just to minimize comfort or maximize comfort. So it was really, really nice. You guys have really gone through a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of people don't realize the amount of engineers and doctors and equipment that you guys have for testing of these lights.
Yeah, we're tested to a higher standard. And I can say this pretty confidently, to higher standard than almost anyone in the industry. And like I said, that comes from the fact that we're a tier 1 supplier, not only in the mining and off-highway segments, but also in the off-road segments. We're a tier 1 supplier to Jeep, to Ram. We're working on some other ones that I can't really talk about, but AV, we make their lights. So we're tested nice. to those levels. And we pass that through all of our lights. Because we want them to be the most well-tested and most well-operating lights out there on the market. Mm-hmm. We have, our testing procedures are unmatched. We do environmental testing where it's a chamber that brings the light from super hot to below freezing, back and forth, and then with full humidity, with no humidity, and changing. And I think it's a 28-day test that every light goes through when we're designing them, and then we pull from batches and we make sure they're maintaining. You can make it snow in that chamber, but we'll run it. It's a 28-day cycle, and it's on and it's off and it's cooling, and see how fast and it simulates. And I'm not sure, I should have asked beforehand, but it simulates like thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of life on these lights. And we do salt spray testing, and we do our lights are rated IP69K, and the K on the end of that, a lot of people know what the IP rating is, and it's water and dust intrusion into a light or into an electronic component of any kind. We take it a step further, and we do water that is almost boiling. Wow. So we shoot almost boiling water at our lights as well, and while they're on, and we test how they react to that, because, in the mining industry, it's ice and snow underground or even above ground mines in cold environments. And they have to spray, mud and ice and snow off of the lights. And to do that, they use, high temperature water.
Okay.
So, but we test all of our lights to the same standard. There's no reason for us to manufacture a light that can't pass that. We have light bars that will never be on mine trucks. They'll only be used in off-road. But we still test them to that.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm thinking, if it's not going to be used for that, are you getting the same quality? Absolutely.
Yeah, we 100% still test for that. And then, and the other, we have the shake table. We bolt a light to it, turn it on, shake them, and then see how long they last with that. And we test them to failure to see how many hours they'll get of being violently shook. But I think the absolute coolest test that we do, and this is something that not a lot of people in the industry talk about, we rate all of our lights to E lumens, which means effective lumens.
Right.
A lot of companies in the industry will publish raw lumen numbers, or they'll just say lumens.
Yeah, like theoretical, the theoretical numbers.
Theoretical. Yeah. So I'm sure Ken has talked about that before, but the brief, quick version of it is we take every light, put it in a sealed test chamber. It's actually really cool. It's like an orb. And we test the output of not only our lights, but our competitors' lights. Mm-hmm. And we see exactly what the output is at operating temperature. So we get the light up to operating temperature, which sometimes can take 20 minutes. and then test it there. The highest lumen loss you will ever have with an LED light is when it gets hot and it gets up to operating temperature. So when you first kick on a light, it is as most output as it could ever have. And then over time, it'll drop, and some of our competitors drop in the 30% range.
Wow.
We do not drop over 3%. So 3% is like our standard for, we keep it between 3 and 5% drop off. Every printed circuit board and every light will do that. However, ours, we make sure that we don't lose more than 3 to 5%. So
that's amazing.
When you're looking at raw lumen numbers and you're looking at, the output or the lumen ratings on TYRI lights, understand that this is an actual true representation of how much light you are getting out of a TYRI light.
Yeah, that's neat. And it's something you have to, I don't know that when people see the theoretical, that it is, I'm laughing to myself because this is a conversation Ken and I had. It was actually a chat conversation we were having on LinkedIn. And I was bragging to him. This is before I knew Ken very well. I was bragging to him about my XJ. I have 100,000 lumens on it with the headlights and everything else, because I have aftermarket headlights as well. Illegal on the road, but we're not going to talk about that. And I built my own light bar with the round lights, with some of these cheap Amazon lights. And so much so, it requires so much power. I think they're 80 watt each, and I have like 8 of them going across the top. I had to run separate wiring for 4 and 4, because otherwise the cables would have had to been way too big. And anyway, he says 100,000 lumens. How is that measured? And I laughed to myself, and I typed in theoretical. And then we started going down the road of what we're talking about here. It was really funny. And I think it was shortly after that, he says, we got to get rid of those lights. And that's somebody sent me the box of lights.
That's what happened with me and Ken before I started with TYRI. In fact, at EJS this past year, and I was out there doing some guiding, some industry trail ride guiding for some industry trail rides. And I knew that 3 or 4 of them were night rides. So, and I live on the East Coast, hadn't had a lot of lights on my Jeep before. So I looked at what I had on my shelf, and they were a competitor's light, and I put them on there because I had to have something.
You're right.
And then I, met up with Ken, who I've known Ken for years. And I'm sitting there, and he just looks at him, and he goes, I can't let my friend have crappy lights.
Don't let your friend have crappy lights. I like that.
He met me in town. I guided a trail in the morning. I said, I'll meet you at this shop in town. And he said, all right, I'll meet you there. And then he and I took my old lights off and put the TYRI lights on. And that was the first time I really saw how much of a difference the TYRI lights are. And it was unbelievable. And again, I think I had clear for that trip, and then he gave me the amber lenses too, and I swapped it out when I got home. Mm-hmm. I love the amber.
And it's not just one amber lens. He had to send me 2. Because one does it kind of narrow and down, and the other one kind of does it wide.
Yeah,
I understand this isn't unusual, but and I did an interview with Ken out at EJS this year, and he walks up, and he doesn't say hello, doesn't shake my hand. He walks over to the lights on the Gladiator, and he's looking at the lenses on those little lights. He goes, "Oh, I got to send you. We got some newer lenses. I got to send you the right lenses. They'll be a lot better." And it was so funny. He's just like, dude, let's do the interview. You can give me stuff later. He really cares. He really cares about the lights, and that's important to me. That the individual isn't somebody that's just there to make money, buy their own Jeeps, and have fun. He's there to make a great product.
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the coolest things about TYRI. Number one, we're made in Wisconsin. So lights that you're buying for off-road stuff, even if you buy them in other parts of the world, they're coming from Wisconsin. So that's super awesome. Ken is an enthusiast.
Yes.
Cole is an enthusiast. I'm an enthusiast. We have a lot of enthusiasts that work for us, right? So it's not just a private equity firm that went like, hey, this is a business that makes a lot of money. It's passion. And for Ken, it is 100% passion. He's been doing lighting since long before LEDs, incandescent lights and halogens and all that stuff. So, he really knows lights unbelievably well, and it's a passion for him, and he gets excited. He's excited for new product,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not just, right before Smoky Mountain, we had a new product that was a sample, and he put it right on his brand new Jeep that he had just gotten, made sure that light bar was on it so he could test it on the way down to Smoky Mountain.
Oh, by the way, we've been reporting on 4xe fires. I hope Ken knows about it.
He's aware. He just had his Jeep in there that Jeep down in Arizona, he had it in for some warranty work for the battery related stuff. But he has another one in Wisconsin that's even cooler.
Yeah, yeah. So you were talking about new products, and this is a win-win either way for us, especially if you can't talk about it. So you guys have a new product coming out, and I don't know that you can talk about it yet, but I want to ask you. I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, we have a bunch, so I'm not sure which one it is. So
it was a light, but it's more geared towards not the commercial side.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm happy to talk about that. The word is
good.
out.
Good. So I'll just say. So you or Ken, I can't remember which, told me about a light that was coming out, and I haven't mentioned it until now. That it's a less expensive light, but you still get the quality of the TYRI brand.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this. This was actually during my onboarding week at TYRI. Ken showed it to me, and I freaked out about it because I think it's the coolest thing in the world, right?
It's a great idea. I mean,
so what it is, and it's called the Baseline Series. And again, still made in Wisconsin, still made to our standards. Still, everything is still TYRI quality, but it's coming in at a lower price point. We figured out a way to make them cheaper and to make them less expensive. So we are offering them at a price point, and the final pricing is not done yet.
That's fine.
However,
cheaper's fine.
It'll be double digits.
Really?
It will not be. Yeah. One version might be a hair over $100, maybe. But the target is, and the idea is that, yes, you can go get an Amazon light for $45. You can spend less than 50% more, or whatever it ends up being the final price. We'll have that pricing by SEMA, so check back in with us. But for just a little bit more, you can have a light that's made in America. It's not going to be as high output as the ones you have on your Jeep or the ones that we have on our Jeep. They're going to last as long. They're going to be just as strong, and they're for an affordable price. We want the customers that are price conscious to have a chance to have a quality light too.
Mm-hmm. So this is nothing but good news, because I think everybody, and not everybody knows TYRI lights. We've talked about it on the show, so I know our listeners know about it. Not everybody knows about TYRI lights, but the people that do know, they know it's high quality, good stuff. It's just a little expensive. And with this coming out, now people can go, oh, wonderful, I'm sold. I think you guys are going to do very well with this.
I think so too. And I think it's, we are the only aftermarket light that is trusted by Jeep and Ram. So Stellantis in general. Mm-hmm. They tested a lot of people and they only selected ours. So I think that says a lot for the quality of the product we do. They have very stringent, criteria for anything they sell aftermarket. So we're getting the word out. We're getting there. Not everybody knows us yet. We're not one of the big cool guy lights, but right. We outperform almost all of them. So we'll get there, and it's just a matter of marketing, and that's what I'm here for.
Right. No, and I think you have an easy job. Overall, I think it's going to be easy. All you have to do is get it in front of the right people. Now, I think I mentioned before we started recording, I actually was in the booth, the TYRI booth, SEMA before last with Cole, and I got to see a lot of the lights that were there, and I think the IntelliLights were even available at that time, because he was talking about those. Can you tell us about the IntelliLights a little bit? Because I think it's a great idea.
So the IntelliLight is a light that we designed and engineered for the heavy equipment market, but it is so cool for off-road applications. I've got them on my JK up on the A pillar, because traditionally, if you and I talked about the amber versus white earlier. So traditionally, there's two ways you can handle that, right? With lighting, you can either swap out lenses and change from amber to white, or you can have double the amount of lights on your Jeep that you need, because you want to have the option to switch between amber and white. But we have a light, and it's called the IntelliLight. It's based on the 1010. So it's a 4.25 inch housing. And built into it is a wireless mesh network that you can change with either, we have a remote control or an app, and some other stuff coming soon that I can't talk about. But you set up the mesh network, you can group all your lights together. If you have two, if you have 28. You know, we have some agricultural machines that have 28 of these lights on their machines.
Yes.
So it's an infinite amount you can gang together. You can adjust the brightness on the app. It has a slider, so you can adjust the brightness, or you can adjust the color temperature to a few preset color temperatures that we have all across the spectrum. So you can go full white, full amber, a mix of the both, and kind of get a warmer light. And so I have them on my JK because it's super handy if conditions change, or really, you know, there's some times where if you're in the front of the trail ride, you can have white light and it's fine. There's not going to be a lot of dust kicking up in front of you. But if you then end up 4 Jeeps back on a trail in Moab at night, and the sand and dust is getting kicked up, you're going to want to switch to amber. So it's either double the amount of lights or change lenses, which no one's going to do on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just, with this, you pull up the app and you change it over, boop, couple clicks of the button, and you're good to go, and you've changed over the lights. So I think it's really a game changer. And again, it's industrial lighting. It's not red halos or backlighting or anything like that. It's true usable work lighting for forward facing lights. And I think the more people that check them out, whenever I show them off on my Jeep at events or shows or trail rides, people go nuts for them.
Well,
so.
it goes right back to the thing. A lot of people don't know about TYRI lights, and every time they find out about it, it's like them finding the Jeep Talk Show. They go, "Holy crap!" And you've been doing this for how long? And it's just like the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing with TYRI lights. It's been going on for a long time. You got a president owner that it really cares about the lights. And that quality and interest shows. And the cool thing is, he's not just a manager. He's into the subtle nuances of how the lights work.
Oh, he knows all about. I mean, he can take them apart and put them back together and tell you which circuit boards go in it and which diodes are on it. You know, and one of the cool things, and I don't know that you've mentioned this on the show yet before, we are now printing our own printed circuit boards in-house.
Oh, no, I didn't know this.
So that was like a last hurdle to be completely independent of, you know, some markets that
external
people generally
forces
don't like,
right.
you know. But you know, we have the ability to do our own printed circuit boards now. So that's what we're doing. So we're making everything, you know, we're not casting the housings yet, but we've got them. They're being done in Europe.
So I just realized something. Ken and Elon Musk are the same person.
Same guy.
You never see them in the same.
See them together.
Exactly. Well, this is exactly the way Elon is doing the Tesla stuff. He's doing everything in-house. He has control. He can keep the prices where they need to be. It's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's more about, you know, we all saw some very interesting things happen during COVID and post-COVID with supply chain. And you know, that kind of set Ken thinking and going like, okay, how do we solve that problem going forward so it's never an issue again? Mm-hmm. And this is one of the ways that we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned light bar earlier. I'm sorry. Let me mention this really quick. We were talking about the IntelliLights and how you can change the color. You mentioned dust and stuff, but there's also for fog. There's also for changing in weather. I'm not in a snow environment, but does yellow or amber work better for snow? Okay.
Absolutely. So, and the biggest issue there, and the way to explain it is that when you have forward-facing lights and you're driving, I mean, everybody's seen it with their headlights. If you've ever driven in a snowstorm or even a heavy rain, the amber won't reflect off of the snow or the water particles back into your eyes. And what's interesting about that is that will give you eye fatigue. The white light shining back into your eyes. So when you drive in a snowstorm, if you've ever driven in the snowstorm, I know you're in Texas, so you don't have a lot of experience with it. But
I want to drive in a snowstorm, damn it.
It's exhausting. And that's why it's, you know, your eyes are having a little more trouble because of the fatigue, and it tires out your whole body. And you know, drive 8 hours in a snowstorm and you're whooped. So this helps, and it helps with machine operators, but it also helps with Jeep drivers.
Right. So I think I know the answer to this, but maybe not. Do you guys have infrared lighting?
We do.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Yeah, so we work with with some branches of the military, and we do infrared lighting. But we also sell them to the public. So if you're someone that wants to drive with night vision goggles on, we've got the lights for you. You know, we have a guy that we work with that is a driving instructor for that. And so he's running our lights, and he gives us feedback on what we need to change and what we need to do. but he trains civilians too. He trains the military, but he also trains civilians. He's former military. So, but yeah, we'll sell if you want them, we'll sell them to you. So they're also in the 1010.
Yeah. So I asked that because in infrared lighting, the rain, and I don't know about the snow, but the rain is like almost invisible. It may have to do with the resolution of the camera, but almost a $30 security camera sees very well in infrared. And if you have a lot of infrared to push out, it's just going to see that much better and that much further. So I don't know if you remember, I don't know if it was Gumball Run or something, but they actually had that set up. Where they were doing, where they were doing the infrared and they were driving with the lights out. I'm not suggesting that, but it would be kind of cool for off-road use, and actually be able to see quite clearly using infrared, and that's always a possibility. I'm a kind of a geek about this stuff, so
there's a big community of people that do it.
Is it? Yeah, that's cool.
And it's the guy I know is in West Virginia, and that's where he trains and trains people to do that. And he's got some side-by-sides that are fitted out with lights, and, he's got very expensive night vision goggles that he trains people with. But you can use your cell phone. Your cell phone is sensitive to infrared as well. So in a pinch, if you had the infrared light, you could literally hold your phone up going slow, good guy going slow. And you never know when you're going to have a light failure, or when you're trying to see in the dark, or maybe you don't want to be seen in the dark for whatever reason, legal reasons, of course. All right, so I know you guys came out with a light bar, and you correct me on the models. I think that is the V10 or V12 that makes it the V12, and it's really like the bars. So what is it? Is it a 10-inch or a 12-inch? I can't remember. It's 12-inch.
Yeah, and it's 3 of them or 4 of them.
Yeah, so it's actually we've named it officially now. So that'll be. So we showed this at Detroit 4 Fest. We released the name. And then that'll go on to SEMA. We'll have a big display with them and showing people. So they're the Hyperion series. Okay. And the Hyperion is a Greek god of light.
Oh, it makes sense.
Or something to that effect. But
anyway, wait a minute. And there is no Greek god of lockers. I'm thinking
there's not. So we've got that advantage. Yeah. We've got history. The Hyperion series, we've got a bunch of different lights in the line. So it's like you said, it's the V12 is the base of it. Mm-hmm. So it's a 12-inch light bar that puts out 4,300 effective lumens with two sets of chips. But it's a real cool looking light bar. I mean, it looks like nothing on the market. It's very stylized, but it's a work light. And from there, then we link them together, and we have a V24, we have a V36. And we have a V48.
Perfect.
So that's actually the V48 is going on my Jeep this week whenever I find time to put it on. Mm-hmm. It's sitting in my garage waiting. But
and a 40, like I think a 42 to a 50 is what used to be out there for light bars. So that's why I say perfect, because that'll go completely across from A pillar to A pillar.
Yeah, and so we've got even this. So it's it's a 48, and it's not a lot of light bar mounts are made for 50 to 51-inch light bar. So we have an adapter that goes on the end, so that if you're mounting to an existing bracket that you already have, windshield bracket, this just fills up the gap in between it to make sure. So, and it's aluminum, it's machined, it's a gorgeous piece. Mm-hmm. So
anything TYRI lights make is just gorgeous. You can tell the quality by looking at it.
Yeah, but those, I can give you the range of it at some point, but from the high end, so the low end, the 12-inch model is like I said, 4,300 effective lumens, all the way up to the 48-inch version is 17,200 effective lumens. Nice. And like a lot of our lights, you can swap out the lenses if you want to run, 2 outsides in amber, or 2 insides in amber and white, or all amber, all white, whatever you want to do. You can customize it that way as well. So eventually what I'll do with mine is I'm going to set it up to run amber on the outside and then the whites in the middle. But for now, I just want all, we have some photo shoots and stuff coming. So I want to make sure it's just all the white light.
Yeah. So are they selectable, or is it all or nothing?
You have individual Deutsch connectors on the back of each 12-inch unit. So you can wire it however you want to do it.
Okay, so you could just turn on the ambers and turn on the whites, or whatever configuration you had.
And so we have harnesses, we have wiring harnesses that are in production now, and we'll have them soon. And it's essentially, it's a relayed unit. So it's made for this light bar. The length is long enough to go on a JK or a JL from either side, wherever the battery is on yours, to all the way up the A pillars and across all the way. So it'll be extra light or extra wire for some people that you'll coil up and hide away or cut if you want to.
Right.
But that way, it'll have two harnesses, two switches, and then you can either wire them all together to tie them together with one. We'll have instructions that show you, or to tie them together. You could switch all four independently if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That seems like a bit much. So it's probably, most people will do it in pairs.
Right.
So
especially with the amber white, because I can definitely see being in situations where the high light from above amber would be very advantageous, usually weather situations.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. And now I've told Ken several times, and I think I've even told you, and this may not be something that you guys are doing. Obviously you have the V12s, but what about a light bar with round lights, damn it? The way it used to be in the 70s and 80s.
Had this conversation twice today already.
I bet.
There's a lot of people ask for it. And
and KC does it. And I'll just mention the light bar. The reason why I built the light bar for the XJ was I didn't want to spend $1,200 to $1,300 or whatever the god awful price is now for KCs. And I built something with the same number of lights and then almost infinite amount of lumens, more so than what the KCs were. I mean, it caused me issues being concerned about the current draw, but damn it, I can put out some light, and I have to be driving and I can't run them too long without changing out the alternator, but damn it, they're bright.
So the short answer is we're working on that.
Good.
And it'll be, so we haven't decided which way we want to go with which lights we want to put on it, but I just had a customer, I was talking to him today. He actually won a pair of 1010s at a raffle. And he was talking to me at the event a lot about his light, and he has essentially, that style we're talking about. He has a Jeep that was built by Starwood Motors, and they built it. And I'm not sure the brand of the lights that he has up there, round ones, but he wanted to replace them. So he wants to put, it's 5 lights. He's going to put 5 1313s. Remember that I said 1313s are 8,000 effective lumens.
That's the ones I have, right? The 7-inch lights.
So there's 2 versions. We have a round, clearly very round one, and that's the D18. Also,
okay, that's it. That's it.
Lumens.
Yeah,
but it's the same output. So
I love this guy because that's exactly the direction I go. I'm a light nut though.
Yeah, so he's going to put 5 of them. He wants to put 5 of them up there. I said, you call me when you're ready to do that, and I will help. He's local to me. I said, I'll help you wire it. So just because I want to see it.
Yeah, and then you have to be concerned about the size wire that's running that, because that's a lot of current draw.
A lot of draw.
Yeah. And fortunately on the Gladiator, I've got the Max Tow, which I think is like a 250, 275 amp alternator. So I can run me some lights on the Gladiator, where the XJ was like, 70 amp alternator or something, and I never replaced it.
Are you so on your Gladiator, you have the auxiliary switches?
Yes. And they're all full, thanks to Ken.
I can't stress this enough. And, if you have listeners out there that are considering buying a Jeep, make sure you get the auxiliary light pack, or the auxiliary switch package from the factory. You can put it in later. Have you seen the instructions on putting that in?
Yeah.
It's insane. So make sure you order it with the auxiliary switch package. You'll be very glad that you did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I did that. Mine was specifically ordered, and actually they input on the build sheet Jeep Talk Show. So
did they?
Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
And the little thing that goes on the windshield, it actually says built for Jeep Talk Show. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
You never know till you ask, right? So the cool thing, like with the IntelliLights, is you have the ability to still have light in front of your Jeep, and you can correct me on this. I'm thinking this would be a doable thing when you're in a Jeep line, and you're not blinding the person in front of you. Of course, you can just hear him come across the GMRS and say, "Would you turn off those fucking lights?"
I've heard that before. I have,
I bet.
Specifically with my Midland GRS. But we,
I'll make sure you have the Roger beep turned on though, because that's very enjoyable.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've, with the IntelliLights, you can absolutely dim them between 0 and I think it's 2,900 effective lumens per light. So yeah, you can dim. That one's a slider, and it's fully adjustable. You can get it down. I think the lowest you can do it is 20%, and then after 20%, it kicks off. But Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot, for trail rides when you're deep with a lot of people. It
Because
helps.
sometimes you need to see, and sometimes you
Yeah.
need that light, and it's great with not having an all or nothing situation. So the light bar, is there any kind of controls for the light bar?
No, so that's not we don't have any dimmable on that. But that might be something worth talking about.
Well, it could be, you could have a mood light setting, is what I'm thinking.
That starts to dance into that backlighting, not work light kind of stuff. Tony, exactly. So we're gonna be careful. But no. So an interesting. Like I also have. So I have ditch lights and rock lights on my JK.
Good.
And those are the TYRI 0606s in fully diffused. So we have a line of diffused lenses that. So what's really cool about a fully diffused lens is that it throws light almost 180 degrees. So you're getting light almost edge to edge. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't throw the light as far forward, but for a rock light or for a work light, engine bay light, anything like that, it doesn't hotspot. So there's no dot in the center where the optics are making a hotspot in the middle, and then it fades out as it gets wider.
That's great.
Same amount of light spread for the entire, area that's being illuminated. They're killer for rock lights and ditch lights. And I have actually, I'm waiting on them now, the Gatekeeper Off-Road, their knuckle pod or their knuckle light mounts. So I'm going to put some of those on mine too. And then, have the steerable lighting up front. So we're going to be working closely with those guys on some projects.
I saw those, and the bright light jeans and me just went off. Like, I don't know what I'd do with them, but boy, I want that. That's more lights, and they're steerable lights.
It's awesome. So, I would highly suggest it. I mean, I know a lot of people that run them, and I can't wait to get them on there, but you can use it as a fog light down low, down at the axle, at the steering knuckle. And when you steer, the light steers with you. So it's incredibly valuable for nighttime rock crawling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps the spotter. If you're using a spotter, it helps the spotter see as well. And I don't know if I would think people that are regular off-roaders already know this, but the listeners that maybe aren't, rock lights can be important for working on your Jeep when you break things at night. And now you can turn on the rock lights, and you can see when you're changing that CV tire joint, the tire, all kinds of things. So lights are just wonderful to have, and not having them, it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. So, 100%, and I know you guys know this. I fully endorse the TYRI lights. And I do need to mention that Ken sent me the lights for free. So this is kind of a paid endorsement. But then again, I don't really lie about it. If they sucked, I wouldn't have them on my Jeep, and certainly wouldn't be as friendly towards TYRI lights as I am. I mean, good people and everything, but if they sold crap products, I wouldn't have them on my Jeep. There's no reason to.
But if you had to buy them, would you?
Yes, but it would be hard.
But you'd be more than happy to wait for the more cost-effective baseline series.
Yes, the cost-effective ones would be a much easier deal, because I think that the D18s were $578 or $550 a piece.
Yeah,
and I probably shouldn't mention that because I park my Jeep outside.
Well, but here's the thing, And I fully believe that you put these lights on your Jeep, those lights will outlast your Jeep.
Oh, no doubt.
And if they don't, you just give us a call and we're going to take care of it. I mean,
the isolation dampening, the heat sink that's on the back of that thing. There was only one problem I had with it, and this isn't a problem I run into very often. My wife and I, on our trip to EJS this year, we ran through quite a bit of snow in New Mexico, I believe it was, at a higher altitude. We went to the high altitude side, and I'm glad we did, because we got to see snow. We never get to see snow. It iced up. The D18 iced up. I actually sent a picture to Ken with the ice on the front of it. I just thought it was so cool. On? Yeah. No. If I had the light on, that ice would have melted very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like you said, we have the heat sinks we have, and so that's one thing I want to talk about, the Hyperion light bars, because this is super exciting to me. Anyone that's had a light bar in the past I know a lot of people. I took one off my Jeep because it whistled.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who made it.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So ours do not whistle. We've had them on. We've been testing these for well over a year. Ken has it on his Jeep. All the TYRI Jeeps have them. The truck has it. If you look at, and I wish I had one in my hand to show you, but I can explain it. The heat sinks on most light bars run parallel to the lens.
Yes.
that doesn't do anything at highway speeds.
Oh, that makes sense because there's turbulence coming off the back of it.
It blows across, and that's what the whistle comes from. It blows across the heat sink, the gap in the heat sink, and that's what creates the whistle. Mm-hmm. Our heat sinks are perpendicular to the lens. So when the air comes across, it pulls it down the back into the heat sinks and cools it off that way. So instead of just blowing across, like you blow across the top of a soda bottle or a beer bottle, it's the same concept. So ours, it actually pulls the air down in and cools the light fixture that way.
Useful type things. Take the air where it actually makes sense.
Again, we have engineers and designers that have PhDs. Yeah. They're not just dudes that gave themselves a title. They're guys that are insanely brilliant with what they do and how they work. I mean, down to what coating we use. We have the coatings we use help a lot with the heat dissipation and stuff like that. So I can't stress enough of the fact that these are highly engineered lights that are going to outlast anything in the industry.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the more cost-effective models, because people get the same TYRI type lights, but a much more affordable price. Obviously, there's going to be differences. There's good reason to buy the higher end ones. Sure. But I mean, if you need, anybody that can spend $2,000 for a KC light bar can afford to buy the top of the line TYRI lights. So I'm just saying, I mean, one, and nothing against KC, but one I think is the name brand that they've built up over the years. And the other one is the runner up that has built wonderful lights that is trying to get that name brand out for the public, right? I mean, I know your name brand is well known in the commercial industry. Yeah. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just so sold on trying to get that information out, is because I firmly believe that on the TYRI lights quality.
Yeah. And there's honestly no shade from me with KC. I mean, they're a brand that, I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I don't know if you can see, I have a DeLorean on my shelf over here. It's just out of frame, but, they've been around since the very beginning of off-road lighting. They have great brand loyalty. I think we outperform them. Oh, no doubt. For being frank. Yeah, so, no doubt. And I respect those guys and I love what they do, but it's not, we're in a different. There's absolutely nothing wrong with buying KC lights. I love KC lights, but I can't see replacing the TYRI lights that I have with KC lights. The only thing I can say, and I think we talked about this in the past, the only thing I can say that the KC has that you guys don't is the yellow KC letters on the fronts. It's that brand. It's branding. They do a hell of a job with branding. Yeah. So I think I told you this. I got the lens covers with the lights, and it has the TYRI logo on the lens cover, but it's just the plastic. So my wife literally got her vinyl machine out and cut those. So now I have white letters, and I said, "Oh, you might want to be ready to make some red ones. That way I could color match the Jeep." And it really stands out. And I think you guys are doing something along those lines. Yeah. So we've had, for some of our private label customers, some of our OEMs that we create lights for, we've been, they have custom covers that have their company logo on it. Mm-hmm. And we used to send those out. So we've recently changed over and we're doing those in-house. So now we have a parts printer. It prints directly onto the lens cover. It can print onto any of our parts that we make a fixture for. So our new covers actually now have a light gray TYRI logo on the cover. So that's pretty exciting. So we have the option to do a lot of cool different things for any businesses out there that might want to do something like that. We can, please get in contact. We have options now. So if I wanted some custom KC letters on the TYRI light cover, could you do those? No, I'm just kidding. Copywritten. Yeah, we can't violate any copyright or intellectual property. That way you get the great light and you get the great marketing from KC. Oh, those are nice. Good Lord, they're bright. Yeah. All right. So much fun talking to you. I'm sorry that we haven't done an interview before now. I mean, it's great to have all this information available. And you talk about how Cole knows more about this stuff than you do, which I don't doubt, but you certainly know a lot. He's brilliant. Him and Ken are the brain trust. So, and I forgot to mention, you guys may know Eric from Quadratech. You were with Quadratech for quite a while.
You were involved with Greg Henderson, unofficial use only, in the 2 QuadroTech builds, the YJL and the JT. Was it
JTE?
JTE, yeah. Which was a really cool build. We actually got to see that build when Greg was joining us in our roundtable, and he had this stuff going on in the background. Greg is a brave individual. I can't see taking a brand new Jeep and cutting the damn thing in half.
Well, it wasn't his.
Yeah, but that makes it worse to me. It's like,
it was funny when he cut that in half. He called me on Facebook video chat, and he was like, "I just want to make sure you see the first cut into this brand new Jeep that you sent me." So I was on Facebook video chat when he made the first cut through the center of that, center of that Jeep. So
I think I know the answer to this, but what the hell was the deal with that white roll bar on the JTE? That was fugly. I mean, I know it was a color combination that QuadroTech wanted.
Well, it was also, that was actually a light bar, a bar that's made by a company in Michigan, Maximus 3. And we wanted that retro look when we built this 2-door truck, right? Because Jeep said they don't want the modern, they're not going to do the modern two-door truck. So mine and Greg's design concept was, we want this to be as retro as we can possibly make it. What is a retro look is those Baja style bars that go just like Marty McFly's truck, right? And then you put lights across the top of that and stuff like that. So that was the idea behind that, is that we wanted a retro look, and we had, actually, if you've seen the JTE recently, it has the wheels on it that I wanted on that build when we first did it. And it's the CJ retro wheels that QuadroTech makes that look like a Steely, like the Steely wagon wheels, but they're actually aluminum wheels, and they're, modern wheels. So those are back on there. So that was the whole idea, is we wanted to be retro, and that was something you had to do to make it look retro.
Sure. It just didn't, for me, it was like, it just didn't go. Chrome certainly wouldn't be the way to go either, but I think it's safe to say, I mean, Greg certainly was the primary one that was, doing all the builds and the modifications, which Greg, he does a wonderful job. It's just, it's incredible. I love it because it's like OEM, but the original equipment manufacturer didn't do that. They didn't make that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of Greg's whole deal is, and I think that's one of the coolest things that Greg does in all of his builds. He builds to OEM quality. He's worked on projects with Jeep. He's been involved in that stuff for a long time. And with his new door pockets, right? They look factory. They look like they were there
OEM
from the
plus.
Factory.
Yes.
In fact, with that JTE, Mark Allen saw that JTE and told Greg, "Hey, you did a better job than we did."
Oh yeah, certainly.
And it looked factory. It looked like it rolled off the showroom floor.
And I got to see it. And I was promised I could drive it at EJS last year, and it didn't happen. And I was I was like, "Greg, it's not your Jeep." He goes, "No, it's okay. I can get you the keys."
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure that they would. I can't anymore, but I'll get you the keys. We'll figure it out.
Oh, it's fine. I just thought it was really cool. It's a beautiful, beautiful build. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's just look up QuadroTech JTE 2023. I guess it was SEMA. Yeah. It was out there at the show, and it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful build.
22 and 23. It was at both shows.
Okay. And definitely check out the YJL. Actually, Greg is coming out with a grill like what was made for the YJL, so you can actually put square headlights on your JT or your JL. So I think
and
that's
the
really
bumper
cool
too. The bumper,
and that's right, and the bumper as well. So.
I've been working with Greg for a long time. He's the only builder I've ever done SEMA Jeeps with, and if I can manage it, the only builder I'll ever work with for SEMA Jeeps. I mean, he's incredible. You guys know he's on the show. Yeah, and he's brilliant, and his unofficial use only parts are incredible, and he's just scratching the surface of things. Greg and I have spent a lot of time talking, a lot of time behind the wheel, just chatting, and he's got some incredible stuff in his brain rattling around that he just has to build and get it out there to market. And unofficial use only is going to be big.
I agree
powerful.
With you. Yeah. I tell him I want him to succeed rather big, because I want to know somebody famous. So he needs to work on that. All right. Yeah. So, Eric, you're famous in your own way, and I certainly appreciate you joining up with TYRI Lights. I'm really glad that after you left Quadratec, that you were able to find something. And I think, and nothing against Quadratec, but I think it's a much better company. I really like the direction TYRI's going. There's a lot of growth potential here where Quadratec was more established, and that's got to be exciting to be a part of. My words, it doesn't have to be yours, but I was really happy for you.
I'm very happy with where I am. This is, I think, the best place for me, and I wish I had found it years ago. I think we're going to do a lot of great stuff with TYRI. We've got some exciting new products coming. Like I said, we're going to release a good batch of stuff at SEMA. There's one that I will not tell you about, but
you damn tease.
It will. I'll tell you when we're off.
Okay.
Off the show, but it's going to change. It's going to change the game, for sure. And it's super exciting. But yeah, TYRI is an amazing company, family owned. It's not private equity. It's not owned by one of the three companies that own everything in this industry at this point.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're good guys. They're awesome Wisconsin folks. I didn't really know a lot of people from Wisconsin before I started there, and I didn't realize how incredibly kind and nice they all are.
Mm-hmm. They just talk a little funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the Philadelphia area, so I'm told that we talk funny as well.
Oh, really? I don't notice it. It sounds fine. All right, Eric, you know how the kids love the social media these days. They like looking at the pictures. Where can they find anything on you, or certainly on TYRI Lights? Where are you guys on the social media?
Yeah. So, well, actually, I want to say one thing that I should have mentioned earlier, and I didn't yet, but here we go. We have launched our new website.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was a big deal.
Yeah, so our new website is TYRI Offroad. That's TYRIOFFROAD.com. And so this is one of the things when I started, this was my big project. So I'm 5 months in. We've got the website done. It is live. It is launched. It's a lot more content based than the previous website we've had. Mm-hmm. So not only is it a place you can buy the lights, but you can learn about the lights. You can learn about how lighting works, the lighting industry. You can see the trail rides that we go on. You can see all that stuff. But it's going to be there's going to be a big educational aspect to that website to explain all this stuff about effective lumens and why we do the things that we do with our lights. Because to some people, it doesn't make sense why we're doing it.
Yeah.
But it's, like I said, very intentional, very engineered to be the highest quality work lighting out there. So,
and it is 100%. I mean, I don't have experience with all of them. But when I got the TYRI lights and got them hooked up, I was blown away. So I love them. I'm a huge supporter. I was going to bitch at you about the TYRI Offroad-lighting.com website, TYRI-offroad.com rather. And because it has Cole in his Ford pickup driving down the road in the snow, and it's gorgeous, but it ain't a freaking Jeep, damn it. But I just pulled it up and I see that you guys have fixed that. It's actually a Jeep on there, and that's a cool looking Jeep too, especially with those amber lights.
Yeah, so we're
that's a TJ, isn't it? I just realized.
Yeah, in the video at the top.
Yeah.
So that's our good friend Rob Spencer, and he has a YouTube channel called EXO-APO, EXO-APO.
Oh, that rolls right off the tongue.
He does a lot of really cool content based around Jeeping. He's a Sprinter van guy. He does a lot of cool stuff. So he sent us that video from out in the California desert. But yeah, so listen, I'm a Jeep guy through and through. And I can tell you about all the Jeeps that I've owned and currently own. But so is Ken. Cole is coming around. He's getting there. He's still a Ford guy. He's got some really cool Ford stuff.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, and a lot of tow vehicles are Fords or Chevys or something. And you guys have product for the Ford trucks too, don't you?
Yeah, we sure do.
So don't forget about that. Just you have to go check it out and see exactly what's available. Don't just think it's Jeep, because it's any vehicle that you can bolt a light on. It doesn't have to be a Jeep, even though I think it only should be. But that's just me.
And we're passionate. I mean, like I said, Ken and I are really passionate about Jeeps. So you'll see a lot of the content coming out will be a lot of Jeep stuff. But, that's kind of where we live.
I think that's a bigger market, frankly. I really do. But I mean, if you got a Bronco, you can certainly put these lights on a Bronco. And
we'll have some Bronco specific brackets and stuff like that coming at some point. Toyota guys, a lot of 4Runners and Tundras and Tacomas out there. We'll have stuff for them too. We're not just Jeep people, but we focus mostly on Jeep because that's what we love. Right.
The Hyperion light bar, I forgot to ask this earlier. Does it come with an A-pillar mount?
So it does not. So we've actually partnered with, so it comes with the adapters that I showed you to go to a 48-inch or a 50-inch light bar mount. And It comes with like kind of L brackets that you could bolt if you're flush mounting it on something, or you have a flat surface you can mount it on. But we're partnering with some great companies in the Jeep industry that we're going to sell their products. They're going to sell our products, kind of back and forth. So on TYRI-Offroad.com, you'll be able to buy packages that are fully ready to go for a JK, a JL, a Gladiator, any stuff like that. And so we're partnering with Rockslide Engineering on that.
Okay.
And Maximus 3. So you'll be able to buy, your choice. If you like the Rockslide Engineering mounts better, you can pick those. If you like the Maximus 3s, you can pick those. But yeah, we'll have full solutions on our website. And, those guys are so good at building brackets for these things. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
No. I understand.
I
was
rather
just going to
support another small business.
Yeah, I was just going to that direction where do you just sell the lights, or is there a mount? Because that means something to a lot of people. They don't want to spend a lot of time investing time and effort. They just want to buy it, damn it.
One-click solution is big in the Jeep industry. So no, we'll have that option, and fully customizable if you want to run their brackets or whoever's brackets you want. We'll figure out a way to make it work. Like Ken always says, we make lighting solutions. We don't make lights, we make lighting solutions.
Yeah, and they're damn good lights.
So,
Eric, thank you.
And another great catchphrase that Ken has brought up over the years is, and we actually have it printed on t-shirts, and it says, serious lights for people who want to get shit done.
I like that.
And that's on our new website as well. So
excellent. Well, Eric, thank you so much for doing this interview. It's long overdue. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface. So you got to plan on coming back to tell us more stuff. And you can maybe you can tell us the secret stuff when you come back. Maybe it'll be released by then. You guys
if it's after SEMA. We'll be able to tell you all
okay,
about
good. So you guys are going to be at SEMA. So if you're interested in seeing the TYRI lights in person and talking to Cole, which I would imagine Cole's going to be there.
We'll all be there. Yeah. Ken and I'll be there, and Cole and Steve, and big crew. Andrea.
Yeah. Just bypass Eric and Cole. Go straight to Ken. I like talking to Ken.
He's great. And he'll tell you the nuts and bolts of it too.
He really does. It's been a lot of fun talking to him. And then you guys are going to be at EJS. You got anything else coming up? If somebody wants to go off and see this, you mentioned 4Fest. You were at the 4Fest event.
Yeah, we always do the 4Fest event in Hollyoaks, Michigan. So we'll actually tentatively we'll be at Winter 4Fest, which is January 19th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Will it be Winter 4Fest or Mudfest this year?
We'll see. It's funny. I have the Mudfest somewhere here on my desk. I have the Mudfest sticker that Tom Zielinski gave me.
It was funny. Tom said he was going to contact his sticker guy or T-shirt guy and have him reprint it because he had plenty of snow this year.
Yeah, so we'll be there. Whatever it ends up being. If it Winterfest, we'll call it Winterfest.
Sure.
So we'll be there. But yeah, we're going to be at all the big shows. A lot of the Overland Expos. We've got great diffuse lighting for camping. So we just were at Overland Expo East this past weekend and sold a lot of lights there. So, we'll be out and in everybody's faces. We just got a brand new tent, replace our old one that was a little bit beat up. So we'll be there. I mean, like I said, we love being at the shows and the events and the wheeling. We like the ones that you wheel at a little bit better than the sit in the parking lot style, but
yeah, I had to call in. I told Ken, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be there Friday at the EJS tent. I got to go wheeling more because it's just so much fun being at Moab, especially for the first time. So, and I want to thank you guys, Ken and Cole, and you have been great supporters of the Jeep Talk Show. And like I like to tell our listeners, the TYRI lights helps keep the Jeep Talk Show going. So at least go over there and visit their website, TYRIOffroad.com. And don't blame me if you have to buy something. They're really great, and I absolutely, if I'd had the money, I would have paid for the lights. But thank God I didn't have to. It was wonderful it was like Christmas. And I still love those lights. So and I can just blind the hell out of anybody that pisses me off. You've seen the thing, and I'm sure you've seen memes about this, where they have Billy Mays, where somebody hits you with the high beams, and you go, but wait, there's more.
There's plenty more. Yeah.
So, holy shit. I'm sorry, officer. All right, man. Thanks very much for being here. And again, we'll have to have you back.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hey, and another big thanks to Eric from TYRI Lights Off-Road, for taking the time to having a chat with us. I enjoy talking to Eric. I haven't spoken to Eric that many times. I have spoken with Ken, the president, CEO of TYRI Lights, many times. And I was talking to Ken even before he sent me a box of lights. Ken's a great guy, and I just want to mention something, and I don't want this to sound too sappy, but you have to understand, we've been doing this show for a long time, and it's easy, and I think everybody has felt this way at one point or another, to feel like an outsider. You're doing something that is fun, and a lot of people enjoy it. You know, with the Jeep, owning Jeeps, taking them off-road, and it's been so much fun meeting all these people that work with me here on the show, and it's a miracle. But to have business owners like Ken of TYRI, Tom, Forfest Events, several people that are just have been integral in helping the show and getting us people to be on the show, and I think making us a little more legitimate in the industry. I may be wrong about this. It's really easy to feel like an outsider and not be an outsider, but if nothing else, these people taking their time to interact with me and the show, and most recently Ken getting Eric to come on the show and talk about their products, it means a lot. It makes me feel, and I think it makes the rest of the team feel like they're a part of something important. And I just want to thank you, all of you, not just TYRI and Forfest Events, because there's been many companies that have been part of G-Tops has been a great help, and I've made a friend out of the owner, Chris. We just call and talk bullshit to each other about stuff, all kinds of stuff, but also too about G-Tops. So it's great having these relationships. And frankly, I never thought this would ever be something that would happen by doing this show. So I've preached this before. If you're thinking about doing something, it doesn't have to be Jeep related. If you're thinking about doing something, but you're scared, you're concerned, you know you're going to fail, don't. And just try it anyway. Yeah, you may fail, but chances are good that you may not fail. And I'm not going to say we've made it to the level of Howard Stern or anything like that, and we may never make it there. But boy, what the accomplishments that we've made, and it's not just me. This is the wonderful thing about this. It's not just me. It's a team. It's a group of people that want to be part of this, part of the Jeep Talk Show, because they believe in it. Oh, and of course, Henderson's going to be going, what about me? Greg Henderson, unofficial use only, has been a big part of bringing this show into the fold of acceptability and perhaps not acceptable, which is good too. I like that aspect of it. And actually become a host on the show. So it's just amazing. Don't keep yourself from doing something because you're sure you're going to fail. Your daddy told you were going to fail. Your mom told you were going to fail all your life. No, stick with it, do it, and accomplish it. Do the best you can do. And I think you will be shocked about how good things can turn out for you. All right, that's it for this episode of the Jeep Talk Show. Stay tuned here for a little bit. We're gonna. Greg's got this wild thing going on, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. So, the last Thursday we had a Zoom meeting. We have a Zoom meeting every Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's not anything that we record. It's just the Zoom room's up, and it lets people get on, and the listeners and stuff, and get on and just shoot the shit and have a good time. Well, Thursday, a week ago, somebody, I don't know if it was Greg or Roger or somebody, made a offhand comment about Dumb and Dumber and riding a mini bike across the country to SEMA. And then it got Greg thinking about it, and everybody that was on the Zoom room thinking about it. And now there's a planned event where it's not going to be one mini bike. It's a moped, but Greg is planning on riding his moped from Michigan to SEMA. Roger's going to go along with him. There's talk about chase vehicles. There's talk about people flying in. Bill was talking about flying in and doing video in the chase vehicle. So it's just blowing up. This big thing is blowing up, and SEMA's even getting involved in it. I think there's going to be a place. It's still in progress because all this stuff is like, I mean, SEMA's not very far away. And so I laugh because it is just so funny. And I mean, can you imagine? We're gonna have to hire some hookers to massage Greg's butt by the time he gets to SEMA. Maybe along the way, although along the way would be illegal. Because I just can't imagine. But on the downside, I mean, on the upside, he's only looking at spending about 27 gallons of fuel to drive the 1,300 miles or whatever the hell it is across several states. So here's a bit of a discussion that was had on last night's Thursday Roundtable. A bit of an update of what's going on with that. So we'll end the show with that clip. Thank you guys so much for watching. And when I say watching, don't forget we're on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. And man, you got to check out these TYRI lights. And if you're going to SEMA, you got to check out the TYRI Lights booth. Make sure you say hello to Eric, and make sure that you tell him that you saw him on the Jeep Talk Show. It's a thank you. I mean, it helps us with TYRI Lights too, but it's a thank you from the Jeep Talk Show viewer, listener, to TYRI Lights for taking the time to do the interview on the show. And the more that happens, the more likely we're to get more information and more things here on the show for you to learn about. So thank you very much. Have a great night, and tell your friends about the show. Podcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.
Yep. Well, so quick update is we've had, so quick public update. Today I went and I picked up Roger's Honda Ruckus. So it's sitting here in the background. And we have also decided that we are going to set up a page on my website to allow donations. And we'll have different amounts, $5 up to $1,000, that people can go on the website and pledge a certain amount of money or donate a certain amount of money. And when we get to SEMA, and we tally up all of the donations, we are going to make a charitable contribution. 100% of all the proceeds are going to go to SEMA Cares, which is an organization that they donate to the Children's Hospital, they donate to kids with leukemia, they donate to college kids for scholarships. So they do a lot of different stuff like that. So we're gonna accept donations on unofficial use only. We'll have a spot where people can donate, awesome. And 100% of all the proceeds will go to SEMA Cares. So that's kind of cool and exciting. SEMA is going to share all of our posts across the board as we're doing this epic trip, and we're going to try and get some other people on board, some other sponsors and other companies to also share and be involved. TYRI Lights has already signed on, so they're going to donate some lights and something to the charitable contribution as well. So, and we're going to try and find more as we go. I'm actually waiting for a call from Northridge, see if Dave wants to get involved. Same thing, Tony from the Jeep Talk Show, if you've got 2 weeks, if you want to send another box of stickers, anybody that reaches out to us while we're on our trip, because we'll have a follow-along thing. We're going to give away some free swag, free stickers and stuff. We're not going to be carrying shirts and hats and stuff because we're just on scooters, but I'm definitely going to have some big sticker packs for everybody that gets involved, and the Jeep Talk Show is definitely involved because the whole concept and idea started right here.
Hey, Greg, are you guys going to be wearing helmets?
Yes. We're also going to do some other fun ones. Somebody else brought up, have people sponsor for, how many hundreds of miles or how many miles I ride in a kilt. And depending on temperature, that can get pretty exciting. Right.
Okay. Count me out.
You're not the only one.
Just count me out of that one.
And Roger, what size is your waist so I can get you a kilt?
Did you just hear me say count me out of that one?
Yeah, but I didn't ask for your opinion. I'm just going to make you wear one. So yeah, this is a spur of the moment thing that all started here on the Jeep Talk Show, and we're going to call it the unofficial ride to SEMA, or unofficial road to SEMA. And we're going to take a dumb, stupid, crazy idea and turn it into something beneficial for people that need a little help. So
That's cool.
we don't really need the help, but
I'm glad that.
yeah, don't try this at home. This is really, really stupid, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And Roger's going to be with me. Hopefully we get another 1 or 2 people and maybe some other stragglers as we cross the country and it starts to get a little more sensationalized.
Greg, I'm just going to be honest. I remember the conversation when you called me and you're like, I want you to do this with me. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're an idiot.
And they have to, hang on one second. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, don't worry. I'll figure it out when we're done. Just take the water bottle off the bed, please. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Can you gotta leave me alone though, okay? You gotta stop. Yeah, what's up?
Some plain paper.
I love you, Daddy.
Good. Please stop. Thank you for the drawing.
That's great.
All right, sorry, dude.
You want to go hang that up on the refrigerator? While
I'll send it to you. You gotta just let me finish this. Hold on, not right now, but as soon as I'm done here, we can put it on.